Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us in this session of Spokane Public Schools Keep Learning series for mathematics. Today's lesson is for students in grade 5, but all of you are welcome to join in. My name is Mrs. Henshin, and I'm a 5th grade teacher at Logan Elementary in Spokane Public Schools, and I will be your teacher for this lesson. I'm so glad you are participating with me today. You can access previous lessons on the KSPS website, and if you would like additional activities, you can go to Spokane Schools Learning at Home website. Sometimes it is helpful to go back and watch the other lessons in our series so you can continue to build your understanding of the mathematics we will be doing together. For today's lesson, you are going to need something to write on and something to write with. So I'll give you a second to go gather those supplies. Go ahead. Okay, are you ready? Today's learning target, I am learning to divide whole numbers and fractions. Let's get going right away on a problem string. Listen to the problem. If a student ran 4 miles in 20 minutes, how fast was she running? What was her pace per mile? So basically, how long would it take her to run just 1 mile at that pace? 4 miles in 20 minutes. How long would it take her to run just 1 mile at that pace? Try to write down an expression and work out the problem. Go ahead. Did you think of using a ratio table, minutes to miles? Okay, maybe you found the expression 20 divided by 4. Okay, it took her 20 minutes to run 4 miles, 20 to 4. Okay, but we want to get to 1. 1 on the miles. So what did we do down here? We divided by 4. So if we do that on the bottom, we have to do it on the top. What is 20 divided by 4? 5. Okay, so she is running 1 mile in 5 minutes. It's a really fast mile. Good job. Okay, let's listen to the next one. If a student ran 2 miles in 20 minutes, how fast was he running? What was his pace per mile? 2 miles, 20 minutes. Write an expression and try to use a ratio table to solve it this time. Go ahead. Did you come up with 20 divided by 2? Nice work. 20 minutes, 2 miles. And we want to get down to that unit rate of 1 mile per hour. So what did I do? 2 divided by what gives me what? 2. And I have to do that on the top. What's 20 divided by 2? 10. Anybody notice it's kind of like a fraction? Numerator divided by the denominator? Great job. Okay, listen up. If a student ran 8 miles in 40 minutes, how fast was she running? What was her pace per mile? 8 miles in 40 minutes. Write your expression and try to solve. Go ahead. Is your expression 40 divided by 8? Okay. We need to get to 1 mile. So how do we do that? 8 divided by what is 1? 8. So 40 divided by 8 is 5. Good. Okay, moving on. How do we go from 1/2 to 1 when we multiply or divide? 1/2 divided by something, or 1/2 times something? 1/2 times 2? What's 30 times 2? 60. It takes 60 minutes for that person to go the whole mile. Okay, next one. If a student walked 1/4 of a mile in 5 minutes, how fast was she walking? What was her pace per mile? 1/4 of a mile in 5 minutes. Write your expression and solve in a ratio table. So your expression should be 5 divided by 1/4. And in your ratio table, the minutes are 5 minutes for 1/4 of a mile. And we want to get to 1. 1/4 times what gives you 1? Times 4. So 5 times 4, 20. So for this person, it would take 20 minutes to walk the whole mile. Here's another one. If a student walked 1/4 a mile in 8 minutes, how fast was he walking? What was his pace per mile? 1/4 of a mile in 8 minutes. Go ahead, solve it. Eight divided by 1/4. Okay, 8 minutes for 1/4 of a mile. We want to know how long it would take for 1 mile. So just like this one, we had to multiply by 4. And to keep the rate even, we have to multiply the top by 4. 8 times 4, 32. So for this person, it would take them 32 minutes to walk the whole mile. Okay, listen up. If a student walked 1/5 of a mile in 5 minutes, how fast was she walking? What was her pace per mile? 1/5 of a mile in 5 minutes. Solve that problem. Okay, to find that unit rate, you should have 5 divided by 1/5. 5 minutes for 1/5 of a mile. We're getting to 1, because that's what it asks us to find. How much for 1 mile? 1/5 times what gives you 1? Times 5. So then 5 times 5 is 25. It takes this person 25 minutes to walk the full mile. Now we're going to move into some problem solving. And this problem is called fruit pizza. So if you're not sure what that is, think of it as kind of like a dessert pizza. Okay, so let's listen up. Lisa's parents own a bakery. They sell fruit pizzas made of granola crust with yogurt filling and one fruit topping. Many fruit topping choices are available. Lisa wants to make a few fruit pizzas to eat with her friends, and she needs to figure out how much fruit to buy for each kind of pizza she makes. She found a chart that her parents made for their latest pizza order that shows how much of each kind of fruit was used on different numbers of pizzas. Use the information on the chart on the next slide to help Lisa figure out how many cups of fruit she would need for each different kind of pizza. So she can decide if she wants to make a blueberry pizza, a strawberry pizza, a peach pizza, or some of the other kinds on the list. Note, the cups of fruit are divided evenly among the number of pizzas for that kind of fruit. Keep that in mind as you try to figure out how to solve these problems. Let's go ahead and take a look at that chart. So here's what she found. Now keep in mind that this is a bakery, so they are ordering lots of fruit, making lots of pizzas. She just wants to make one. So for blueberries, they found that 237 cups of fruit made 79 pizzas. For strawberries, 352 cups of fruit made 88 pizzas. For peaches, 91 cups of fruit made 182 pizzas. But she just wants to know how many cups of fruit for one pizza. Let's look at blueberries first. So again, 237 cups of blueberries made 79 pizzas. We want to know how many cups of fruit for one blueberry pizza. How are you going to solve that? If you have someone around you, take a second, discuss, and I want you to try to come up with an expression that will help you solve this problem. Take a second and think about this. So what did you come up with? 237 divided by 79? Did you think we can use division to solve this problem? Kind of like we were doing with the number string. We're trying to find the unit rate. We're trying to find one pizza. Maybe you thought of it like this. 79 times what equals 237? If you've seen any of the previous videos, you might have seen me use the area model to solve a division problem. So let's try that now. Again, I'm thinking 71 times what gives me 237. Can't really do 79 times 10, and that's where I usually like to start. But 79 times 10 would be 790. That's way too much. I think I'm going to go easy and start with just 2. 79 times 2. I can think 70 times 2 plus 9 times 2. 70 times 2 is 140. 9 times 2 is 18. So 140 plus 18 is 158. Now I'm at 158. I don't think I can do 2 more groups. I think that'd be too much, but I'm not quite to 237. So as you can see, I was just going to add in 1 more group of 79. I'm going to try to add that in my head. Instead of lining it up and regrouping, I want to try this mentally. So I'm thinking 158 plus 50 is going to be easier for me to start with. 158 plus 50 is 208. I used up 50 of the 79, so I still need to add 29 more. But I think it's going to be easier to make another jump of 20. So 208 plus 20 more is 228, and then I still need to add 9 more, and 228 plus 9 is 237. So we were right. We were right. Good job. I used up all of that 79. So 279 right here divided by this 79 is 3 cups per pizza. Where did I get the 3? Right there. 79 times 3 is 237. So it takes 3 cups of blueberries to make 1 fruit pizza. Let's look at the next one. Strawberries. For strawberries, 352 cups of fruit made 88 pizzas. Now you can see I have a ratio table set up here. I noticed that both of these numbers are even, and I'm thinking I can divide those pretty easily in my head by 2. So I set up my ratio table, cups of fruit to number of pizzas, and we already know a little bit of that information. We know 352 cups of fruit made 88 pizzas, and we're going to try to get all the way down to 1. I'm just going to start by dividing by 2. 352 divided by 2 is 176, and 88 divided by 2 is 44, and I can keep dividing by 2. Both numbers are still even. 176 divided by 2 is 88, and 44 divided by 2 is 22. I noticed something here, though. I think I can go bigger than 2 because both of these numbers are divisible by 11. If I divide 88 by 11, I get 8, and 22 divided by 11 is 2. I'm almost down to 1. What do I need to divide by? 2. That's right. 8 divided by 2 is 4, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. And now I'm at 1 pizza, 4 cups of fruit. It takes 4 cups of strawberries to make 1 strawberry pizza. 352 divided by 88 equals 4 cups per pizza. Nice job. Let's look at one more together. This one says that it took 91 cups of peaches to make 182 pizzas. This one seems different to me. Does it seem different to you? Why don't you take a second and think about that, or discuss with someone near you, why is this one different than the previous two problems that we worked on? I'm thinking this one is different because the number of cups of fruit is lower than the number of pizzas. So I'm already asking myself, is this going to be more than 1 cup for one pizza or less than 1 cup for one pizza? As you can see, I have a ratio table set up again because I noticed a connection between 91 and 182. Anyone else notice that connection? All right, again, cups of fruit to number of pizzas, and here's the information we already know. 91 cups of fruit made 182 pizzas. Now, what was that connection that I saw? 91 is half of 182. 91 times 2 is 182. So 182 divided by 91 is 2. And I'm down to 1 cup of fruit. I'm done, right? Oh, wait a minute. I'm not done. I don't need 1 cup of fruit. I need to know how much for one pizza. I gotta get down to 1 on the pizzas. Okay, so 2 divided by what gives me 1? 2 divided by 2. But on a ratio table, whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So now I have to do 1 divided by 2. How do you do 1 divided by 2? 1 into 2 equal parts. What is that? It's 1/2. Or I could say 0.5, 5/10. So it takes 5/10 of a cup or 1/2 of a cup of peaches to make 1 peach pizza. Let's see what we really did here. We solved 91 divided by 182. That's the same as saying 91 over 182, like a fraction, because a fraction is just really the numerator divided by the denominator, right? And we knew that was equivalent to 1/2, or we could say 0.5, 5/10. So it takes 1/2 a cup of fruit pizza to make 1 peach pizza. That's why this one was different. It takes less than 1 cup. Awesome job, 5th grade. I think that you're ready to try a couple of these on your own. Okay, 5th graders, here's today's assignment. You're going to continue what we were doing, and you're just going to fill in the blanks on this chart. Make sure you communicate with your teacher on how they want you to turn that in. So for 42 cups of kiwi, you can make 28 pizzas. How many cups of fruit per pizza is that? With 88 cups of raspberries, you can make 22 pizzas. How many cups of fruit per pizza is that? With 120 cups of mandarin oranges, you can make 48 pizzas. How many cups of fruit per pizza is that? With 1 cup of grapes, you can make 1/4 of a pizza. How many cups of fruit per pizza is that? And with 2 cups of pineapple, you can make 1/2 of a pizza. How many cups of fruit per pizza is that? I'll give you a little time to get this copied down. Nice job, 5th graders. I've enjoyed doing some mathematics with you today. Thank you for joining me as you continue your learning from home. I look forward to seeing you again for our next lesson on KSPS.